Okay, so we're looking to solve this question. It says, without using a calculator, find all the solutions of tangent of x over 3 equals 1. Let me write that in a little more clear writing. So tangent of x over 3 equals 1. And by first using what this basically says is 0 is less than or equal to theta, less than or equal to 2 pi. Okay, so basically, yeah, it wants us to solve this. Notice the keywords without, underline those little, stay without using a calculator. What does that always mean? That always means use the unit circle. So all throughout this course, whenever you're doing something and they say, without a calculator, which is part 1 of our exams 1, 2, and 3, you always use a unit circle. Whenever a question says, no calculator, that means use the unit circle. So here's the unit circle. So there's the unit circle. Now remember, what values do we have on the unit circle as you go around? Well, cosine and sine, cosine and sine, cosine and sine, cosine and sine. Remember, it's cosine and sine all the way around. And it's backwards order, right? I mean, backwards, kind of like what, different than we would think, cosine comes first. We're used to thinking of, whoops, I just wrote sine. We're used to thinking of sine first, then cosine, but this is how they made it. Okay. So anyways, so what's my point? My point is there's no tangent, right? There's no tangent values directly or immediately on the unit circle, are there? There's just cosines and sines. Well, then how do you find tangent? Because I need tangent. I got to find out on this question, where's the tangent equal to 1, right? So I'm trying to figure out. Well, what I'm going to do for you now, and this would be a good thing for you to put in your own notes, is I'll just calculate the tangent values for you directly. I'll just, let me just start up here. Tangent, I'm just going to put them right on here. Tangent, it's sine over cosine, so it's going to be 1 over 0. And it's 1 over 0 because it's sine over cosine, right? Remember, tangent is sine over cosine. I don't know if you remember that. Tangent, so you can figure them out yourself, but I'm just going to do them for you right now to make it easier. So tangent is sine over cosine, 1 over 0. I don't know if you remember, 0 underneath is d and e. Tangent does not exist up there, is what that means. Because 0 in the bottom of fraction makes infinity. Anyway, I'm being too long-winded. I got to go quick here. So anyway, if you do the same thing here and you put the sine over the cosine, you simplify, blah, 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 you're going to get square root of 3. I'm just going to save you some time here. Tangent here is going to be 1. That's what we're looking for right there. Tangent on this one is going to be square root of 3 over 3. If you do all the simplification, tangent here is going to be 0 because sine over cosine 0. Tangent down here, now it's going to be the same thing, just negatives. So negative root 3 over 3. See how these guys are the same? And so then the next one is going to be, tangent's going to be negative 1 at that spot. Tangent at this spot, bet you can figure it out, negative root 3. And then tangent down here is d and e, just like it is up top. And you can keep going, but really those are the only, well, maybe I should keep going. I'll keep going. So tangent right here, we see sine over cosine, so it's going to be, that's going to be negative root 3. Tangent is negative 1 here, negative 1. Tangent is, so I'm saying negative root 3 over 3. Tangent here is 0. Tangent at this spot. Sine over cosine, positive root 3 over 3. Tangent positive 1. That's the other spot we're looking for, positive 1. And then the one down here, finally, tangent is positive root 3. Positive root 3. All right, there we go. So there's the values for you on the unit circle. So that's something you might want to put in your notes. It's like a extended unit circle. So it gives you not only the cosine and sine values, but also the tangent values, which you can find yourself just dividing the sine over the cosine and doing the simplification, but I've done it all for you there automatically. Okay, so now that'll help us solve this problem. So let's go back. What are we looking for? We're trying to figure out the tangent of some angle is 1. So where does that happen? 2 places, huh? Right here, which is pi over 4, and right here. Positive 1 at 5 pi over 4, right? here it's -1. We don't want -1. Here it's -1, and there's other values. We want these two spots, pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4. At those two spots, the tangent is +1. That's because sine and cosine are equal. And sine divided by cosine, therefore, is 1, right? So but you can find whatever they want, you know? So from my case, it's pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4. So what does that mean? That means the inside angle, the x over 3, must be pi over 4, or the inside angle must be 5 pi over 4, right? Those were the two spots, pi over 4 and 5 pi over 4, where the tangent was 1. Does that make sense what we're doing there? We're saying this inside can be pi over 4, and the tangent of pi over 4 would be 1, or this inside can be 5 pi over 4, and the tangent of 5 pi over 4 would be 1, right? So that inside can be pi over 4, or that inside can be 5 pi over 4. And now you just solve for x. How do you solve for x? Well, you want to get x alone, right? So just multiply by 3, it'll cancel. Whatever you do to one side, you get to do the other. So x will be, what's that, 3 pi over 4? Or same thing here, multiply by 3, multiply by 3, boom. X will be, and there's 3 over 1, right? So 3 goes to the top only, 15 pi over 4. So those are our two answers, 3 pi over 4, comma, 15 pi over 4, right? Find all solutions. We found them both, separate them by a comma. And so those would be the two answers for that one, 15 pi over 4 and 3 pi over 4. And so that's how you do that. And there we go.